All right, buckle up because we're diving into some seriously mind-blowing stuff today, folks.
Yeah, we're talking AI that can make videos.
And I don't mean just slideshows with some fancy transitions thrown in. We're talking about actual, like, moving pictures generated by algorithms.
The real deal.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
And the company leading the charge on this is called Runway.
They've got this new API everyone's buzzing about.
And we're going to break it all down.
What it is, why you should care, all that good stuff.
Exactly.
What's really interesting here is that Runway's not exactly new to this whole AI video scene.
Right. They've been around.
Yeah, they've been developing these AI models for a while now. You might remember their Gen-1 model.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive for its time.
Definitely. And they've come a long way since then. Their Gen-3 alpha model really kind of kicked things up a notch in terms of realism and speed, but they didn't just stop there.
Well, no, they did not.
They just recently, we're talking July 31st of this year, released a turbocharged version, Gen-3 Alpha Turbo, they're calling it.
Catchy.
And now, get this, they're giving other companies the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, with this new API.
Okay, so that's what we keep hearing about, this API. For those of us who don't speak fluent tech, what exactly are we talking about when we say API?
Okay, imagine like a waiter in a restaurant, right?
Right.
You give the waiter your order, they take it to the kitchen, and then they bring you your food. An API, or application programming interface, if you want to get technical, is kind of like that waiter. It lets different software programs talk to each other and exchange information.
So it's like a translator for software.
Exactly. In this case, Runway's API lets other companies take their AI video generation technology and build it right into their own products and services.
So instead of just using Runway's, pre-built tools,
Right.
companies can now build their own custom applications powered by Runway's tech.
You got it. And that opens up a world of possibilities. Think about it for saying personalized video ads that change based on what you're interested in, or interactive educational videos that, speed up or slow down depending on how you're learning. The sky's the limit here.
So many possibilities, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around it.
Yeah, and this is just the beginning, really.
Okay, so they've got these different tiers of access, like you were saying, these base and enterprise plans.
It makes sense to offer different levels for different needs.
It does. But what about the cost? How much are we talking for a company to tap into this AI video magic?
Well, they're charging by the credit is how they're doing it.
Credits go.
Each credit's a penny. And to make 1 second of video takes 5 credits.
So 5 cents per second of video. Let me get my calculator out here. Okay, so a 30-second commercial, we're talking about $1.50. That's crazy cheap.
Yeah.
Compared to, traditional video production, I mean.
Exactly. And that's a key thing here, I think. Runway's making this technology really accessible. I mean, from a cost perspective, at least, it's not just like big Hollywood studios that can play around with this. We could be talking smaller businesses, educators, even just like individual creators, who want to experiment with AI video.
Democratizing the tools of creation. I like it.
Exactly.
That's the catch, isn't there?
Yeah.
They're not like giving away the whole farm just yet, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that the original Gen-3 Alpha, that's not part of this API rollout.
Good catch. It seems they're holding back a bit on their most advanced model for now.
Probably a smart move, strategically speaking.
Right. I mean, remember that marketing giant, Omnicom?
Oh, yeah. The one that's already using the API.
Exactly. So even without the original Gen-3 Alpha, this API is good enough to attract some major players.
Clearly. Makes you wonder how they're using it.
Doesn't it?
What kind of applications could a company like Omnicom, with their marketing and advertising focus,
Right.
what are they doing with this?
Well, we can only speculate at this point, but I mean, knowing Omnicom, it's not hard to imagine them generating personalized video ads, right? The kind that adapt in real time based on your browsing history, your demographics, your location even.
So instead of seeing the same generic ad for a product, I might see a version that's tailored to, like, my specific interests. Okay, that's impressive, but also a little creepy, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, that's the double-edged sword of any new technology, especially one this powerful, right? But think beyond targeted ads even. Think about the potential for like dynamic content creation, websites where the videos actually change based on your preferences or your past interactions with the site.
Whoa, so we're talking about websites that are practically alive, responding to each individual user.
In a way, yeah.
It's like those personalized choose your own adventure books, but for the internet age.
Exactly. And again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. As more companies get their hands on this API, start experimenting, I think we're going to see a wave of innovation in video creation that right now we can barely imagine.
I'm starting to get why people are calling this API launch a game changer.
It's a big deal.
It is, but Runway's not the only player in this AI video game anymore, right? We've got OpenAI with Sora, DeepMind, and their VO.
Right.
They're all kind of waiting in the wings. Are those going to be direct competitors to Runway's models?
It's definitely shaping up that way. The details are still a bit hush-hush.
Of course, of course.
But both OpenAI and DeepMind, they've got the resources, the track record. They could give Runway a run for their money.
Yeah, there are no slouches when it comes to AI.
Exactly. Sora especially has been generating a lot of buzz. It can supposedly generate these incredibly realistic and coherent videos from, get this, text prompts alone.
Wait, so you're telling me you can basically give a computer a screenplay and it'll spit out a finished movie?
That's the idea.
Yeah, okay. That's amazing. And also, potentially very bad news for anyone working in Hollywood.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
It will. But it's important to remember, though, each of these companies, they've got their own strengths, their own strategies. Runway's focus on accessibility, on ease of use, being one of the first out the gate with a fully functional API.
Right.
That could give them a real edge, at least in the short term.
Definitely. You know what they say, the early bird?
Gets the worm. Exactly. But what about the long game? How do you see this whole AI video landscape playing out over the next few years?
It's tough to say for sure, but if I had to guess, I'd say we're in for a wild ride. A period of intense competition, rapid innovation. Think of it like a technological arms race for the future of video.
And we have front row seats.
Exactly.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't miss it.
It's almost like we're watching, I don't know, a new era of creativity being born.
Yeah, it's big.
Think about it. The printing press, photography, the internet.
Right.
All these huge leaps forward. And they all have one thing in common, which is they made these tools of creation accessible to more people. Changed how we see the world, basically.
And this has the potential to be just as transformative, maybe even more so. Think about it. We're talking about a future where anyone with an idea, an internet connection, they could make a high-quality video, potentially.
It's like everyone on the planet suddenly has a movie camera in their pocket.
In a way, yeah. Except even better, right?
Yeah.
No bulky equipment. Could be just a phone, even.
Exactly. And the applications, though, go way beyond just entertainment, right?
Oh, absolutely. Think about education. Teachers could be creating these dynamic, engaging video lessons tailored to each student. Or small businesses making really professional looking marketing videos without needing a huge budget.
Levels the playing field, doesn't it? In a way we haven't really seen before, I think. But, got to ask the tough questions here.
Right. There's always another side to these things.
Every tool has its downsides. What are the potential downsides here with AI video becoming so readily available?
Well, you have to consider the possibility of misuse, right? Spread of misinformation. People creating these deepfakes that are so convincing, it's hard to tell what's real anymore.
Right. It's like the more powerful the tool, the higher the stakes.
Exactly. It's a conversation we need to be having now, not later.
Now is the time, yeah. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. From the nitty-gritty of Runway's API to the really big picture stuff, future of video, basically. Before we go, any parting thoughts? Something to leave our listeners with?
If you're not paying attention to AI, now's the time to start. It's moving fast, and it's going to touch every aspect of our lives.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the exciting and sometimes kind of scary world of AI video generation. Until next time, folks, keep exploring, keep asking the tough questions, and keep your imaginations open.